Hello and welcome to this month's webinar, Shorter and Faster Leadership Assessment, Recent Trends and Thinking in the Assessment Space. My name is Michelle Brown. I'm the VP of Client Success from AppInsight, and we'll be walking through this month's webinar. At AppInsight, our mission is to bring fairness to leader selection, development and succession. We want to level the playing field and bring the best tools of assessment and prediction to all leaders around the globe. We believe that when leaders have the right tools available to them to demonstrate their true capabilities, organizations can make better decisions, they can make them faster, they can select and grow the best leaders, and better leaders make a better world. When selecting your next leaders, we think it's important to go beyond first impressions. We believe that fair assessments give all candidates a chance to demonstrate their real capabilities and give you scientifically validated data to make the best hiring and promotion decisions. But we also believe that every person has untapped potential, and with the right plan in front of them, they can become a great leader. And so we lean on science to personalize development and bring every leader's unique strengths and needs to the forefront. We also believe that a fair and evidence-based process gives you objective data so that you can identify true high potentials and focus your resources into developing your next generation of leaders even faster. In today's webinar, we'll be looking at shorter and faster assessments. How to design shorter assessments but still maintaining those high levels of predictive validity, giving us confidence in the decisions that we're making on the back of those assessments. And more importantly, how technology but also good quality research can bring more efficiency and speed to our decision making. The trend to bring more efficiency into assessment is not really a new trend, and in the last 2 decades we've seen the efficiencies that have come with bringing test content online to more mature survey platforms. I think many of us will remember the Scantron days of speeding up test scoring. But technology has certainly enabled some big leaps in the assessment center space, bringing a greater level of logistical and operational efficiencies to a once very cumbersome assessment methodology. Assessment centers obviously have the key benefit that it allows for direct measurement through observation of employees' leadership behavior. When placing them in a business simulation and watching them lead, watching them make decisions, watching them communicate, watching them perhaps collaborate, we can get a very direct and very predictive measurement of their leadership behaviors and their readiness for leadership growth. This is the most direct way we can measure leadership skills without just relying on employees' self-reports like with personality tests or predictive measures through cognitive assessments. Assessment centers subscribe to the don't tell me, show me principle, and that's what really makes them so very powerful. But it also makes them extraordinarily cumbersome. The time, the logistics, the efforts for many people involved have meant that the assessment center methodology and process, while extremely powerful and one of the most strong assessment tools that we have available to us, it's just made it not very accessible for many organizations across the globe. And that's really what's made this place ripe for disruption and the application of technology. By moving assessment centers into a virtual environment, at AppInsight we've been able to remove a lot of the logistics and surrounding infrastructure of assessment centers and bring it into a much simpler virtual environment. For example, by moving the brick and mortar venue into an online integrated platform, assessors, participants and clients can be assessing anywhere, anytime around the globe in a standardized setting without having to spend the dollars on time and travel. We've also moved the in-person role plays into video conference meetings, moving in-basket activities into the generation of regular emails and document preparation. But we've also taken even just the simple logistics of aligning all of the various calendars between assessors and the participant and the venue and the person and the need, and made that into an automated scheduling function, giving participants and assessors the ability to work and do these in a 24/7 environment, making doing an assessment center as easy as calling an Uber. We've also moved the scoring for assessors into a scoring database and set up easier report writing functionality, turning what used to be a weeks-long and very arduous process for assessors into a 24-hour report turnaround. By also moving from an individual reporting output into a group reporting output, we're now using virtual tools to build large databases of data, giving clients more access to group analytics and apples-to-apples comparisons at the click of a button. So the introduction of technology into assessment has allowed for great number of beneficiaries, probably than was originally anticipated or expected. Users report a more immersed and engaged assessment environment, representing more of the modern work environment than maybe a traditional or classic assessment does today. It offers them greater convenience to access the assessment platform at a time that suits them. But there's obviously also the great economics and cost savings that go on multiple sides of the assessment provision. Reducing labour costs and administration resources makes this methodology, makes this tool now available at a greater scale than ever imagined before. Organisations can now use a standardised assessment tool, a standardised assessment platform, and run this standardised environment across the globe in multiple language and use global norms. That obviously means they can now use this powerful tool with a wider group of leaders around their organisation, making this tool not just the special tool available for senior executives and the C-suite selection, but for many more roles around the organisation as well. And with greater scale and more data points, that allows organisations to be able to do so many more powerful group analyses, to be able to be seeing dashboards of readiness, 9 boxes and skills gaps at the click of a button. With those databases now online, this allows organisations to have integration with their HRIS systems, seeing live data and live talent acquisition and live talent data needs faster than ever before. Technology is bringing cost effectiveness and convenience to many types of assessment for selection and development. And in Mercer's 2017 Talent Trends report, the plans to implement game-based assessments or virtual assessment centres were on the rise. And in 2018, 70% of companies reported some form of online assessment tool in their selection and development suite, with 66% of North American companies already having implemented a virtual assessment solution in their assessment tools. While people leaders are implementing more types of technology-enabled assessments for selection and development, at the same time they're being met with new challenges in people leadership. They're needing to develop their leaders faster, not just assess them and have good quality diagnostics. They need more data about who needs to be developed and in what. They have disrupted industries and so need all leaders to be changing their behaviours in ways they haven't even predicted yet. They need bias-free, lower-risk ways of estimating who truly has leadership potential, moving away from the less accurate and more fraught manager ratings. People leaders are speaking about the need for easier access and easier operation of systems with less HR resources to run complex and cumbersome HR systems. And leaders also assume that long assessments can scare candidates away. And in a fast-moving, talent-short world, long assessments are not one to be favoured. Interestingly, some new research just this year about selection assessment notes that there is a negligible correlation between candidate attrition and test length. And in fact, attrition or candidates dropping out of a selection process due to an assessment was much more about their initial motivation for the role and the employer brand rather than the assessment length itself. And in fact, when it came to professional, higher level roles, leaders wanted to have the opportunity to truly express and adequately and fairly show their skills. And so the shorter or the more gamified assessments had lower levels of participant reactions than longer, deeper, more thorough assessments. That truly participants wanted an opportunity to adequately demonstrate their skills and know what to expect of the assessment rather than speed. So it's typically stakeholders that are looking for shorter and faster, and less so participants. But that doesn't mean that we can't step up and look to the research about where we can gain efficiencies but still hold the strong and rigorous power that assessment centres are known for. The research and the literature in the International Task Force on Assessment Centre Guidelines points out where we maintain the power of assessments in a virtual assessment space, while also being able to reduce components to improve user experience, to reduce time, but also maintain high quality of analytics. And in AppInsight, this is where we've been investing our time to bring a greater variety of tools to the marketplace and to give the scale, the economic, and the user experience benefits that technology gave us just years ago. At AppInsight, we've maintained the rigor of having multiple opportunities for behavioural observation. We hold true to the core of doing multiple assessors independently, rating behaviours as participants are inside a business simulation. We provide standardised testing environments and multiple components of data integration. But more recently, taking our assessments from 3 hours, we've been now able to focus in on different behaviours, exercise length and component to move into a 1 hour every leader assessment. So when it comes to assessment, more is not necessarily more. AppInsight's Every Leader Assessment is a new 1 hour business simulation with 30 minutes of psychometrics that allows organizations to now enable a greater access and the power of assessment center methodology for a larger number of leaders inside their organization. Built on a foundation of 7 core leadership competencies that are relevant for all leaders in any organization, in any industry, every leader can now have the opportunity to get high quality insights into their leadership skills and also to see their ability and their readiness to develop more skills into the future for greater effectiveness. By building on a focused set of 7 core leadership competencies and combining personality and learning agility psychometrics, organizations can now see with greater clarity group level talent trends, bias-free high potential flagging, and group level training needs analyses at the click of a button. But perhaps the most exciting new trend in creating efficiency and access is the integration of assessment and development together in a unified technology solution. The greatest challenge for practitioners has always been development after the assessment centre. Traditionally, we would offer a feedback session, give participants their 60-page report with some development resources and suggestions, and then hope that something would stick. But today, mobile applications can ensure that the post-assessment development actually takes place. Utilising artificial intelligence, AppInsight's Leader Habit app reads the assessment results, generates a tailor-made development plan for each individual, and delivers them daily exercises to track their progress and to engage them in greater practice and building the habits of leadership. In summary, technology has enabled operational efficiencies in leadership assessment. Technology-enabled selection and development tools have allowed organizations a better user experience, cost effectiveness, scalability, and data analytics. But we turn now to digital innovations and assessment research to bring us shorter, faster, but also similarly effective tools and meet the needs for scale in both global and organisation-wide use, but also an increased usability of assessment tools for a development focus. But what next? If you would like to learn more about AppInsight's 1-hour leadership and development solution for every leader in your organisation, or our more extended and customised business leader readiness solutions, or indeed our group analytics, or to hear more about the Leader Habit app, the integrated development application that comes with every one of our leadership assessments, please contact us at www.appinsight.com.